He was just a janitor, invisible, ignored, until the day he was fired, without a second thought. But when the truth came out, it shook everyone who thought they knew who he was. Welcome to the quiet truth, where we tell the stories no one noticed until it was almost too late. Like, share, and subscribe, because today's story will stay with you long after it ends. Now, let's begin. Nathan Carter was 34th CEO of a rising tech company, the kind with glass walls, beanbag lounges, and motivational quotes framed in sleek aluminum. He had a corner office, a calendar booked to the minute, and a reputation for being sharp, fast, and brutally efficient. But with speed came impatience. It was Thursday morning when it happened. Nathan had barely stepped into the building, coffee in one hand, Bluetooth headset in the other, voice sharp as he navigated through back-to-back meetings. He turned a corner and then stopped cold. A large bucket of soapy water was spilled across the hallway floor, seeping dangerously close to a fuse panel. Nearby stood an elderly janitor, frozen, mop in hand, clearly caught mid-clean. "Hey!" Nathan snapped. "What the hell is this? You trying to flood the building?" The janitor looked up slowly. His uniform was faded but neat. His eyes were tired, but calm. "Apologies, sir. I was about to wipe it up." "Not good enough." Nathan cut him off. "This is a safety hazard. You could have fried the main grid." The man didn't flinch. He simply lowered his gaze and nodded once. Nathan was already walking past him, fuming. He turned to his assistant, who had just caught up. "Who is that?" "Walter, sir. He's been with facilities, I think for over 20 years. Nathan scoffed. "Well, he just earned an early retirement. Terminate his contract. Today." "But he's never had any complaints. Ever." Nathan didn't look back. He just had his first. And with that, he vanished into the elevator. By lunchtime, the entire maintenance staff had heard. Walter was gone. No farewell email, no party, no handshake or cake in the break room. Just gone. Some shrugged, others whispered. Most kept quiet. After all, it was Walter. Quiet, reliable, invisible Walter. He wasn't the type to make noise or ask for favors. He just showed up. Every day, for decades. And now, his supply closet, the one at the far end of the east hallway, tucked behind the vending machines, stood open for the first time in years. It wasn't locked. No one had ever dared touch it. Not because it was forbidden, but because it felt sacred. Janine, one of the interns from operations, had been tasked with clearing it out. "Just toss what's old," her manager said. "We'll assign the closet to someone else next week." She opened the door slowly. Inside, the air smelled faintly of pine and old paper. A neat row of supplies lined the wall. Perfectly labeled bottles, neatly stacked claws, mops hung with surgical symmetry. But then she noticed the shelf in the back. Not cleaning supplies. Books, notebooks, folders, a dusty frame with a faded photograph of the company's founder, back when the office was only a warehouse. Next to him, Walter, young, smiling. Tucked beneath it, a manila envelope. On it, handwritten in neat script, "For whoever finds this when I'm gone." Janine hesitated, then opened it. Inside were letters. Dozens. Some addressed to Walter. Some from him. All dated. Some as far back as 1985. There was also a folded newspaper clipping from the local paper. "Engineer sacrifices patent for company survival." No photo, but the name in bold. Walter H. Leeds. She froze. Walter was an engineer. She took the folder straight to HR. Within the hour, it was on Nathan's desk. And for the first time that day, Nathan sat down. In silence. Nathan didn't move for a while. The manila folder sat open in front of him. Dozens of letters, fading with age but meticulously organized by year. He picked one at random, dated 1993. Dear Walter, I don't say it enough, but the server patch you created last month saved us from losing our biggest client. I showed it to the board. They think I hired another contractor. I didn't correct them. Maybe I should have. But you never ask for credit. So this letter will have to do. It was signed. Gary Thompson, the company's founder. Nathan stared at the signature. Gary. The legend. The man everyone in the company worshipped, quoted, emulated. He turned to another. 1999. Walter. We might have to let the junior dev team go. I know it'll crush you. You trained half of them, but money's tight. I want you to know, without your decision in '89 to delay your own patent filing, we wouldn't have even made it to '96. That choice bought us time. Time that built all of this. And another. Walter. I know you said no to the VP role. You always said you preferred the shadows. I don't understand you. But I respect you more than anyone else in this building. Letter after letter. All full of things Nathan had never heard before. All about a man he thought was just a janitor. He sat back in his chair, the office suddenly feeling too large, too cold. His assistant knocked gently. Should we reach out to him? Nathan didn't answer right away. He was still staring at the last page in the folder. A hand-drawn floor plan of the original building. In the margin, written in faded pencil, Nathan found himself sitting across from Martha Chen. She was in her 60s now, retired, but still sharp as ever. She'd worked at the company in its early days, and more importantly, had worked beside Walter. They met at a small cafe near the old office site. Martha brought a photo album with her, faded snapshots of the original team, before there were logos and corporate retreats, before the IPO, before the glossy branding. There was one photo where a much younger Walter stood next to Gary, both of them knee-deep in wires, holding what looked like a busted router and laughing. He rewired the whole first floor himself, Martha said. Didn't trust the contractors. Said they used shortcuts. He stayed until 2 a.m., 3 nights in a row just to fix what they botched. Nathan flipped through more photos. He never looked bitter. Because he wasn't, Martha replied. Walter was quiet, but not because he lacked confidence. He just didn't care for noise or attention. He ever want to leave? He had offers, big ones, startups, even NASA once. But he stayed. Said building something meaningful with good people mattered more than stock options. Nathan couldn't help but feel a tightness in his chest. I fired him over a puddle. No, Martha said softly. You fired a man you didn't bother to know. That night, Nathan couldn't sleep. Not because of board meetings or market projections, but because of guilt. He had let a man disappear. A man who had kept the company standing, who had trained employees, fixed disasters before they began, sacrificed his own ambitions. And Nathan had reduced him to a mop and a mess. The next morning, he asked HR if there was a forwarding address for Walter. No, sir. He declined the severance package, signed the exit forms, walked out quietly. Didn't leave any contact. Nathan went through old emails, memos, internal tickets. Walter's name was on everything, usually under resolved issues that no one remembered, because they never became real problems. He dug through the company's original documentation. Walter had been listed as one of the founding engineers, But somewhere along the line, his title had changed. Then disappeared. He remembered something Martha had said. Walter used to sit by the fountain in Maplewood Park when things got too loud. So Nathan went there. Once. Twice. The third time, he found him. Walter was sitting on a bench, tossing crumbs to the pigeons. Same coat. Same calm posture. His hair was whiter now, his eyes still unreadable. Nathan approached slowly. Walter. The man looked up. Didn't smile. Didn't scowl. Just nodded. I came to say I'm sorry. Walter shrugged. Not the first apology I've heard, more, and won't be the last. I didn't know who you were. That's the problem with titles, Walter said. They make people stop seeing. Nathan sat beside him. I don't want you to come back as a janitor. I want people to hear your story. To learn from you. To know what you built. Walter stared ahead. I'm done with offices. But I'll come. One last time. Not for you. For them. At the next company town hall, there was a second chair on stage, next to the CEO. A nameplate rested on it. Walter H. Leeds, engineer, architect, teacher. The auditorium was full. Rumors had spread. People were curious. Nathan took the mic. He didn't talk about profits, or quarterly earnings, or projections. He talked about Walter, about the foundation beneath their feet, about the wires in the walls, about the man who'd fix things before they broke. Then Walter stepped up. He didn't say much. Just this. I never needed credit. But people deserve to be seen. The quiet ones. The ones who build while others speak. If I taught anything, I hope it's that. There was silence. Then applause. Some people cried. And Nathan? He stepped back and listened. Later that week, a plaque was installed in the company lobby. In honor of Walter H. Leeds, the man who built the unseen. And from that day on, Nathan led differently. Because some lessons, you only learn when it's almost too late.